Hi guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Bill Ackman is one of the greatest and most controversial investors of all time. He is considered by many an active contrarian who takes bold bets against the consensus. As the founder and CEO of Pershing Square Capital, he is worth an estimated $1.5 billion. He is probably most famous for his public feud with the great billionaire investor Carl Icahn over Herbalife, the pyramid scheme. Ackman betted $1 billion that Herbalife stock would fall to zero, and then Carl Icahn took an opposing position. This caused the two to ensue in a public feud. In recent times, Bill Ackman has turned $27 million into $2.6 billion by predicting that the global health crisis will cause the stock market to crash. Moreover, Ackman recently sold his shares in Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway so his own investing firm could be more nimble and take advantage of a potential stock market crash again. So it seems Bill Ackman has no issue making bold bets against the consensus.
Let's assume at 22 you get a pretty good job, and instead of spending your money on gadgets or a fancy apartment or not so fancy apartment or going out and drinking a fair amount, you put some money aside, you start investing money. Let's say you could save $10,000 at 22 and you can earn a 10% return on that money between now and the time you retire. What would you have in 43 years? The answer is you put aside $10,000, you don't save another penny, and you invested it and you earn 10% on your money each year, you'd have $600,000 in year 43. And the reason for that is, well, in year one, your $10,000 would become 11. In year two, your $11,000 would grow by 10%. And so you'd be earning interest not just on your original principal, but you'd earn interest on the interest you'd earned in the previous year. And that compounding effect allows money to grow in an almost exponential fashion. Now, obviously, if you earn more than 10%, you can earn even higher returns. Now, that's if you put $10,000 aside in 22, you'd have $600,000 in 43 years. That's pretty good. What if you had to wait until you were 32? The problem there is, by year 33, you'd only have $232,000. Maybe that's not enough to retire. So a key thing here is, if you're going to be an investor, it's really one of the most valuable assets you have today as someone who's 18 or 19 years old is your youth. You want to start early so that your money can grow over time. Now, what if you could earn 15%? Give you a better sense of how powerful compounding is. Remember, at 10% for 43 years, you'd have $600,000. That's pretty good. But if you earn 15%, you'd have over $4 million. Now you're in a pretty good position. And so obviously, making smart decisions about where you put your money has a huge difference in what your retirement assets are. Now, obviously, if you put aside more than $10,000, if you could put aside $10,000 each year, then your wealth would be quite enormous. Now, just for fun, if you were one of the world's great investors, Warren Buffett being a good example, if you could earn 20% per year for 43 years, you'd have $25 million. Again, the original $10,000 investment would increase by 2,500 times over that period of time, just by earning a 20% return. Albert Einstein said the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. So the key is start early, earn an attractive return, and avoid losing money, and you're going to have a very nice retirement. Okay, now let's talk about the risk of losing money. Now let's assume that in order to try to get a 20% return, you took a lot of risk, and it turns out that every 12 years, you lost half your money because you hit a bad patch in the market, you made dumb decisions. Well, your $25 million at 20% would now only be worth $1.8 million in 43 years. So a key success factor here is not just shooting for the fences, try to get the highest return, it's avoiding significant losses over the period. Okay, so as Warren Buffett says, rule number one in investing is never lose money. And rule number two is never forget rule number one. So if you can avoid losses and earn an attractive return over time, you're going to have a lot of money if you can stick at it for a long period of time. Now, when are you ready to start investing money? My guess is you're a student, you probably have student loans, perhaps you even have some credit card debt, you're going to graduate, you're going to get a job. So you don't want to jump right in and, while you have a lot of debt outstanding, start investing in the stock market. The stock market is a place to invest when you have money you can put away and you won't need for 5 years or maybe 10 years. So if you're paying relatively high interest rates on your credit cards, you definitely want to pay off your credit cards first before you think about investing in the stock market. Your student loans are probably lower cost than your credit cards, but again here, my best advice would be, if your student loans are costing you 6 or 7%, well, if you pay them off, it's as if you earned a guaranteed 6 or 7% return. And you're just better off getting rid of your credit card debt and even your student loan debt before you commit a material amount of money to the stock market. Even once you've paid off your credit card debt, perhaps you've paid down your student loans, you want to have enough money in the bank so that even if you were to lose your job tomorrow, you've got a good 6 months, maybe even 12 months of money set aside.
So which of Bill Ackman's rules resonated the most with you? Comment your favorite below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, smash that like button and definitely subscribe. See you next time.
Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB who we running with, coming in, flex, I just wanna win,